Hey Cardfighters, Chris here from Vanguard Central bringing you our Musketeer deck. This is a very fun deck, very aggressive, and has a pretty good amount of consistency just with the whole Musketeer thing of killing a Musketeer, searching the top 4 or 5 cards for another one, and calling it. So for the starter, we are running the Grade 3 Searcher. I tried running the Legion starter, but I found the Grade 3 Searcher was much more effective because a lot of the deck's power plays rely on having a Grade 3, either rewriting and legioning again, or going for stride plays. That's really what you want to be doing if you want to kill your opponent effectively. So we got the Grade 3 Searcher to help us do that. Just into the strides real quick. We have one Arborea. It's going to be good, help fixing the field. Use it if you really don't have anything. It's going to help you set up a bit. We have one Blizza, which is really good for that late game. If you end up striding a lot, then you can have a lot of face-up G units, and you'll probably flip up the Arborea since you don't want to use her too much. Get those power plays if your opponent has MPG, can be very good to seal the deal. We have 4 of the Asha Stride. This card's super good for Musketeers since you're able to kind of like filter out and get the right cards you want. You should be able to get 2 of one card pretty easily to get that plus 5k. Never underestimate that on that first stride, because if you have your field set up already, go ahead at first stride Asha, get that plus 5k at the front row. It's going to be very punishing. And again, if you do choose to stride it later, that extra call can be very helpful for setting up the field. And then we have 2 Primavera. A lot of people run 1, I run 2 because I think it's the best stride in the deck. Being able to reset your field to get those extra attacks is a huge power play that they really really just pretty nuts, especially if you're able to make some 21k columns that restand. So attack Vanguard and then set up 2 21k columns after triggers, before triggers, is really punishing on opponents, and if they're already at high damage, that's probably going to finish them off. It's a pretty hefty cost though, Counterblast 3. So that's also why most people run it 1, but there are some ways, you can unflip some in this deck, so 2 is definitely very doable. Going into the Grade 3, so we have 4 Veras. Best boss for Musketeers. When she legions, she gives every Musketeer +3, so all your columns are getting +6. That's huge. That's one of the power plays for the deck. But since it is during the turn you legion, you are going to need to re-legion if you want to make more power plays, right? The other skill is just the kind of bluish flames Musketeer type skill where you're killing one and looking to the top for another one. Helps fix that field, get the cards you want. Very good skill. The other Grade 3 we're running is 4 Ashas. This is like an iffy choice. Part of it is we don't have Elvira, so I do want to try running those as well because I just like the consistency of having a Musketeer name. But Asha is by no means bad. The stride skill is going to help you set up your field a bit more, and the GB2 is very good. If you can't stride, if you can't legion or anything like that, you can still get that +5 just due to Musketeers being able to consistently set up the field. For the Grade 2s, we have 4 Augusto, the 12k beater, very good for early aggression and mainly there for the 21k columns, as I mentioned before, because the 9k booster Merca is super easy, and you'll see her in a bit. We have 4 Sylvias, definitely the best card in the deck, or at least in the Grade 2s, if you think there are better cards like Vera. She calls a Musketeer from the top card of your deck, you reveal it. If it's Musketeer, you call it. So that's why Asha is bad. Asha is bad because if you reveal Asha from Sylvia, you don't get a card, where you should be getting a card every single time, which is kind of why I want to go for that Musketeer, full Musketeer build. But again, Asha not too bad. And then 7k doesn't hurt because you're able to just kind of fix it, right? You can call it, get a free card, and then either fix the free card or fix this one into something with a bit higher power, a bit more oomph. And then lastly we have 3 Sol, which is the mate for Vera. Skill, I really don't like to use the skill that much just because it's also putting normal units back into your deck to draw cards, so you're getting less triggers. And I also like to keep the normal units for the Primaveras, which again I think is one of the more powerful plays the deck can do. For the grade 1s, we have 4 perfect guards, Musketeer perfect guards, obviously because of Sylvia. Even calling a perfect guard is okay because you're gonna be able to, fix it and then legion it back in. We have 4 Rebeccas just to help you fix outside of Vera's skill. It's the only other way to do that, but it can be very useful. It helps fix like triggers. You can turn them into useful units and get that early aggression very easily. We have 4 Mercas. Again, the 9k booster helps make 21 columns, can make 16 with Rebecca. Very good card, and it's super, super easy to activate. All you need to do to get it to a 9k booster is shuffle, and that's basically what every Neo Nectar card does. Or at least the Musketeers, right? Legioning counts, so you don't have to use Vera's skill if you don't want to. You could just ride in Legion and get that 9k boost. And then the last grade 1 is 2 Susanas, which Cell Blast 2, Unflip 2. This has a double purpose of setting up cards in the drop zone for an early Legion. Also good for setting up normal units in the drop zone for Primavera, which is mainly what I like about it. And it also unflips 2, so you could Primavera 1 turn, take a damage, you call Susana the next turn, and Primavera again. Just smack them in the faces. Those 21k columns is super good. And lastly, the triggers. We have 8 critical. This one being the unflipping one when you call it from Musketeer skill. Again, helps with being able to use Primavera more than once a game. And then we have 4 draw and 4 heal. You don't see the classic Musketeer stand, which is kind of like their catch call, helping you fix the field even if you grab the stand. And that's because stands are really bad when you have Primavera, because you're resetting that full field and you're gonna check a stand and then only be able to give the power. So that's why I don't run the stands. Just got the draws, keep your hand power up. And the 8 critical, obviously, for that offensive. Alright, I hope you guys liked our Musketeer deck profile. It's a very fun deck, very aggressive, surprisingly consistent in my opinion, and it has a lot of hand power if you hit those Sylvias. If you don't, then not as much. Let us know what you think about the deck in the comments. Please give us a thumbs up or a like, it helps out a ton, and subscribe for more content. Vanguard Central, out.